What up, people? How's everybody doing out there today? How'd everything sound out there? Please let me know in the chat. Welcome back to SPJ Live. Hope you guys have been having a good week, staying safe, staying healthy out there, as healthy as you can these days. We're going with a little bit of a different setup today because I kind of wanted to do something a little different today because if you guys saw this on Facebook already, I got a ton of impulse responses this past week from Lancaster Audio because it relates to something I'm going to be a part of in the very near future. And I've tested a few of them out over the course of the week. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do it. And today I was just kind of, trying some of them out. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll try some out on the live show you guys what's going on. So what you're hearing right now is going to be the guitar going into a Boss TU2 on the floor for tuning and bufferage because we're going direct into my PreSonus recording interface. And I'm actually using the Waves Audio Paul Reed Smith Supermodels amp plugin, which is the Archon 50. So it's kind of like their, it's their high gain amplifier. And I have a couple of those Lancaster Audio impulse responses loaded up. I've got an orange PPC 212 and a Rev 4x12, and I've blended those and mixed those, and that's kind of what we're hearing. It's not kind of what we're hearing, it is what we're hearing. And then basically how it's getting to you is I have a headphone feed from the interface going into an IK Multimedia iRig, which then I have plugged into the iPhone that I'm streaming with right now. So it is very, it's a lot of stuff to get this audio to you guys, but I think it's sounding pretty good in the headphones. So let me know how everything's out there, and let me get to the chat, see who all we got here today. Some of the usual suspects are, of course, in the house, which is always nice to see. Riley, Io, Acura, Ben, Coombs. We got Terry's GG and G, Gillis, Debilio, Mr. Albus Band himself, making sure that he can get some of this in while having daddy duty to the Wonder Twins. Hope the Wonder Twins are doing well, buddy. Brian Landreth is in the house as well. And Music Therapy Labs has brought Roxy to raid the stream. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you all here. Sounding pretty good. All right. Well, that's who we've got going right now. So if you guys haven't taken a moment and you want to bring some more people into the stream, that would be appreciated. You can always share the link. Let's go to a little bit of a clean tone for this. Clean tone is always a little low in volume on this thing. Oh, that's better. Yep. Scott Hamilton in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. If you don't know who Scott is part of the Effects Loop podcast. Give him a check out. Actually, Scott and I bonded some time ago over the Waves PRS Supermodels plugin. Yeah, that mix of cabs actually sounds really good. Let's here's just the orange impulse response. And then turn that off and go to the Rev. And together. And then you can like adjust the cool thing with the PRS plugin is that you can adjust the mix, you can adjust the balance, you can pan the different cabs from to the left and to the right. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna put the orange is gonna be on the left. So maybe this is a good stream to watch in headphones or on like a good stereo system. So the orange is gonna be on the full hard left, and the rev is gonna be full hard right. And in my head, I can definitely sense the difference. Ah, Gargut's in the house. What up, you dirty Mark? Happy belated birthday to you. But yeah, this little mix of cabs sounds really good. I like this a lot. Let me just mess with some of the settings a little bit. Gonna drive the front end a little bit more. Turn down the master. Something maybe a little bit more grit. Something a little bit more harmonically rich, you know? Oh, you're dirty, Aaron. Bring back the master a little bit. I don't want to clip the output. Yeah, really good stuff. But there's tons of like I got everything that Lancaster Audio makes in terms of IRs. So if I open up the entirety of the folder that was sent to me by these guys, there's Ampeg speaker cabinets. There's B50. Like this is the odd one to me. There's a B52 412 cab. Impulse response, Bogner, Carvin, Crate, EVH, Fender, Marshalls out the wazoo, Mesas, Oranges, Panamas, PVs. There's a Sun model. Actually, you know what? Let's actually go to that Sun. I'm curious. So let's open up the Sun impulse response. There we go. Cool. Let's hear how that sounds. Very different kind of tone right there. I'm going to turn up the master a little bit more because it got kind of quiet. We're only using one cab right now. And what's really cool is there's a really intuitive way to audition some of these the IRs in the speaker or in the PRS platform. They have this play button that you can press and it'll cycle. You can basically set either 2.5 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds, how long one of those IRs will last, and then it'll switch to the next one in the list. So we can essentially just riff around, and it'll cycle through all the Sun speaker impulse responses. So let's try that. All right, so here we go. is my favorite one by itself. But the beauty part of all these different IRs is that they, on their own, don't necessarily sound that great, but it's when you combine them with other ones that's really where the advantages of being able to have access to so many different files like this makes a ton of sense. As a just as an experiment, let's go to yeah, let's go to that one. I'm gonna turn off the delay. The delay is actually coming from the universal control on my interface, so it's all generated there in the interface. So let me get that chat back up. Let me get the PRS plugin up here. So I'm gonna turn on that rev cab with this sun cab, and we'll hear the difference there. Off with the rev. On with the rev. Now off with the sun. It's not a mix that I'm necessarily gonna like. I like them on their own, actually. There you go. Now off with his rev. Haha, that's funny. I saw something from Brian about a reverb pedal, which I watched Dave Friedman and Pete Thorne's show. Dave was asked what his favorite reverb pedal was. He said Digitech Polaris. Dude, that's a good one and a total sleeper. And I think the reason that it's good is because it's basically Lexicon reverb algorithms in it. And Lexicon reverb, man, just good stuff. Yep, Riley, it's apple juice. Let's find some other ones. I just want to show you guys a couple. I don't want to show you too many because we will be here for hours just checking all of them out. So this is an EVH 5153 cab. That's pretty good. Let's check out the next variation of it. Thanks, Terry. Let's listen to the clean tones on that one. Yeah, that's really nice because the 5153, for being such a high gain amplifier, the clean channel on it is mind-blowingly good. So the fact that the cab can do the clean stuff just as well as the dirty stuff is pretty awesome, in my estimation. There's a third variation on it. Yes, Riley, it's a Deathly Hallows hat. This adds in a little boost pedal. Riley, I don't want to go too much louder because we are kind of clipping the output section ever so slightly sometimes on the master of the Waves plugin, so I don't want to distort everything too much. I would turn up louder, but I did a little test with the phone setup before I got rolling, and I don't want to go any higher than this. Lillian wants some beautiful bends. How you doing, Lillian? Thanks for joining in. Let's get some of those beautiful bends. That enough for you? Pardon me, guys. I'm getting Facebook messages at the moment while I'm doing this. I have my cell service turned off, but the Wi-Fi is obviously still on because I need to stream on the phone. If you guys have any requests for any of these that you want to hear, or if you want to know if there is a specific type of cab in this pack of stuff that I've got, please, by all means, let's spend some time checking these things out. There are so many of them. It's kind of funny. I have no idea what I'm going to do with half of them. I know I'm going to be doing something with a couple, like at least one of them. But it's still just like, wow, the options are endless. Something that did happen this week that I do want to share with you guys that's slightly new. About a month or so back, we got some packages from Epiphone, and one of them was the DC Pro. And for those of you that were watching the unboxing along with the Kramer that I got that day, we saw that the DC Pro's pickup selector was broken. Well, this week, Epiphone did good by me and sent me a brand new pickup switch for the DC Pro, and I changed it out, and now it works. So we're gonna play a little bit with some humbuckers now. Let's tune this guy up. And again, guys, if you have any requests, any suggestions of cabs that you want me to try out right now here on the air, live and in person, let's do it. And any other questions that you might have, feel free to ask. But this is a really cool guitar. One of my favorite parts is the out of phase sound. That's nice. That's fun. It's very thin sounding, and it can be kind of like, why would anybody want to use that sound? But it's a really good one. You know what? How long can it sustain? Let me take off the gate. Let me load up a cab really quick. I'm gonna load up a they have a Carvin Legacy cab 412 variation. So let me turn off the noise gate. I'm gonna turn up the gain a little bit, and let me do something here. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty good. It was still kind of ringing. Lillian is asking what my favorite wah is. Well, do you have a cab in the room? No, Scott, it's all from the PRS supermodels, and I'm just loading in different IRs from Lancaster Audio. So everything guitar-wise that you've heard the amp sound of, it's the Archon model and any of an assortment of cab IRs. As for my favorite wah, Lillian, that's a good question. I've been kind of going back and forth lately because I've loved the Morley George Lynch Dragon 2 that I got last year. But then last week, I uploaded a video of the 2020 Distortion wah, which has a bit of a wider sweep, and it's got a little bit different of a high-end curve to it. And it still just sounds really, really good. Having said all that, it's kind of like, I don't really know. I haven't gotten a chance to put them side by side and decide which one I like better, which I actually want to do as a video coming up. Do a new Stompbox Smackdown of two different wah pedals, which is, I haven't seen a whole lot of wah pedal comparisons, and I feel like those would be two really good ones to do. So yeah, just kind of trying to do what I can, you know. Have I ever tried Ampeg guitar head and cabs? They have the tube and solid state. Older models I played off the solid state. They surprised me. I haven't actually played any of the older Ampeg amps, like the guitar amps. I know Paul Gilbert used some for a while when he was in Mr. Big, and I believe those were actually amps designed by Lee Jackson, if I remember correctly. But I've never come across one in the wild, and I always have wanted to, because it's always interesting when one company's so well known for amplifiers in one sector to enter another, so to speak. I'm kind of weird hearing myself talking in headphones right now. So I haven't tried them, but I hope I can. Riley with a question: can anyone answer me something? What does it mean to play a note on the 5th fret of the B string on my Korean Sheridan? Again, overtone or harmonic with the note. Is that normal? Yeah, Riley, that kind of stuff is really normal, and a lot of what I encounter is it basically just comes down to sympathetic vibrations. So I'll use the DC Pro as an example. If I play this note, I have it unplugged right now, by the way, because it's not necessary to have it, but maybe it would be. Maybe I will just plug it in. I don't know. So anyway, 5th fret of the B string. So we're playing an E. Now, what we all tend to assume is that not only is the string ringing, and that's getting picked up by the pickups, but with all the tone woods, we assume that the neck is made of wood, it resonates, the body made of wood, it resonates. Because of that resonance, certain spots on a guitar where the strings are not really coming into contact with anything can potentially have sympathetic vibrations, making the strings ring out in those areas. I know I've had that happen with a couple other guitars, which if you've seen my Ramos Black Rider, my Nazgul, or my Chapman ML7T, and even most recently my Black and Silver Les Paul, I take a electrical tape and I wrap a few wraps at the top of the headstock. And basically that's one of the big time culprits that I've found for sympathetic vibrations and unwanted overtones, I should say, is up here at the headstock. So when I put the electrical tape on there, I do it for two reasons. One, I use electrical tape because it doesn't leave behind any residue when I go to take it off. Two, electrical tape is cheap. You can buy like a 5-pack at the hardware store for around $3 or less. You should be able to get it for less, I think. And then it just is just enough pressure on the strings to keep them from vibrating up here. But you also get them down here at the bridge, and this can happen a lot on Gibson style instruments that have the tunematic bridge and the stop bar. You can even get it on things like you can get it on Jazz Masters, but the benefit with the Jazz Master is because it's the Jazz Master, it's got all this room behind the bridge for you to do behind the bridge strumming. So you tend to want to kind of leave that. But I've found that the reason I will often choke those overtones out is because when I'm recording and I want the instruments to be really in pitch with each other, really in tune, those overtones can sometimes clash and create this sort of underlying dissonance that is just not too pleasing. So I know Colin from CS Guitars, my good buddy, he uses these, and Agufish does this as well. They have little string deadeners up at the top of the headstock and behind the bridge that mute those vibrations, and so the recorded sound ends up being a lot cleaner than previously. And Scott, no, I don't think that you're weird for liking them, because depending on the situation, they are actually a really cool thing to have. So, okay, Legacy. Let's turn back on the delay. Go back to the chat. Check out the next variation of that. Yeah, that's a good one. I've always liked the Legacy cabs in their look and in their sound, because they were essentially a 412 with vintage 30s that you could buy for under $1,000. Come on. And with Vi, like, the aesthetics just had to be there. So, you know, it had brown leather around the speakers. Oh, it was great stuff. Or maybe it was Tolex. Whatever. I really like this guitar. It's a really cool... Shut up, Cable! I really like this guitar. It's a really nifty take on a double cut. It sounds good. Feels good. Yeah, that's good stuff. I gotta say, these IRs are doing really good right now. Let's see. You know what? We were talking about Ampeg. They have an Ampeg Svt. So let's just, for the heck of it, let's try a bass cab on a guitar amp. Next one. So this is on the tweeter. Next variation. You know what? Let's just cycle through them all. Play. There were some pretty good ones in there. Like, I probably wouldn't use one by itself. Neither would I, like, Riley suggested with, like, doing two of those blended together. I wouldn't do that necessarily, because if you blend two different, you know, two of the same cab, and you're going to start to, because the thing with the bass cabs is they got a lot of low-end information in them. And for the guitar, that's not necessarily what you want. You want to keep that mid-range and that more high-mid content in there. And there's just not enough of that. So I feel like if I did two bass cabs, it would start to get into the territory of the bass guitar, which I want to be heard and to have that weight. So I probably wouldn't do that. But they do sound good. Riley's asking, which Carvin amp head do I own? Right now, I own 3 Carvin amps, actually. I own the V3, which is their 3-channel monster 100-watt head. And then I have their 2 pedal preamps, the Legacy Drive and the X1. So the Legacy Drive obviously being based off of the Legacy amplifier, and the X1 being based around the X100B, which is really awesome. Got a great clean channel on it. Here's a cool one. This is apparently, according to them, they got the chance to do impulse responses of one of Eddie Van Halen's old Marshall cabs. So let's try it out. there's some definite good stuff in here. Really useful, really intense stuff. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try out. You know what? They actually have a Paul Reed Smith cab in here, a 412. So let's play this PRS amps plugin with a PRS impulse response. Thank you, Lillian. It's just echo actually, but it does kind of feel like a verb. Gargut's asking, do they have any Randalls or cranks? Let's actually look. I can't say with certainty that it does, but I'm gonna look. No cranks. No Randalls. Although, I did just download an amp sim that has a Randall Kirk Hammett 412 impulse responses with a bunch of different microphones and positions and whatnot. So there are some out there. I just don't think I can actually use them outside of the plugin. I could be wrong. You know what? Let's see. Date added. Let's see. No, that doesn't help. Nah. Probably can't find it. Oh well, we tried. We tried. But yeah, I just can't believe how many there are. And I got all these producer packs. Like, there's an entire Glenn Fricker cab pack. And, oh, this coffee cab one is like probably my favorite. So let me try something real quick. Yeah. I love that coffee cab because it's one of the ones that just on its own feels right. And all the microphone variations, it's just unreal. He's got an angle cab, a rev cab, and the cab that he used to record the intro song for Spectre Sound. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I was looking for that dime bag sound without actually using all the accessories he used. I can make it sound close on sim, but I'm using my too many plugs. Yeah, dude, Riley's right. There's an Amplitude dime bag plugin now, so it's all right there. You could probably download a pretty decent trial. All right, Trey Xavier from Gear Gods has an orange 412 cab. Yeah, well, brah, we'll see. We'll see if you have an orange 412 cab. That's a Royer R121, and boy. Wow. The beauty of that was that there were so many different single microphones that's really where you can get that blend thing going on. So let me go back to his let me go back to Trey's 57, which sounds like this. Now let me go into his pack on the second, and now I'm gonna go load up the 421, and this is a 50-50 mix of both of them. But we can cycle through them and find some other stuff that might work. Here's a 421. Now here's a R121. Here's a U87. That sounds pretty good. To answer your question, Riley, I don't have the PGM anymore. I sold it a few months back. Just couldn't justify hanging on to it any longer, unfortunately. And I want to get the 30th anniversary one, the gold top, because just played it at NAMM a couple years ago. I just loved it. And yes, I do like the Sheraton headstock on this as well. You know, let's try this clean real quick. Dial back some of the gain on that. You know what? Let's split. This is a really versatile guitar. Push-pull pots on both pickups. So we got single coil and humbucker tones, and we got our out of phase on the middle position. It's really, yeah, surprising. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. And that's surprising. I can do a bar chord all the way up here, which normally on a Gibson style instrument you can't really do. Let's turn up the out of phase sound. It's got this weird, almost like electric sitar thing going on. Let's go back to the lead. I'm gonna make it more crunchy than modern. Turn down the bass a little bit. And it's 24 frets too. That's another surprising thing. Yeah, this thing is sounding really good. So why all these IRs? Why in the world would I buy all these or have all these? Because big thanks to Lancaster Audio for the hookup. That's right, the hookup. I'm going to be doing something kind of cool. The call was put out looking for people who might want to participate in something by everyone's favorite angry Canadian audio engineer, Glenn Fricker, for Tone Wars. And I'm going to have to put myself up against people who produce far better than I do to come up with the best guitar tone possible with the STL Tones Ignite Amps Emissary amp plugin and all these Lancaster Audio speaker impulse responses. So I have absolutely no idea what exactly I'm going to do. I've literally just gotten everything over the course of the last few days and barely gotten to scratch the surface with them. My hope, sincerely, is that I can get something that I like by the end of the weekend, and next week I'll be working on my entry for Tone Wars. I'm sure many of you probably assume I will go with an orange cab, and you would be right to assume so. But I don't know if I'm actually going to. I don't know if I'm gonna go with an orange cab, to be honest with you. I think the orange cabs that they have sound good, but I don't know because I think I can only use one, so I feel like I'm gonna have to find something that gets me the best of both worlds. But we'll see how that goes. I'm probably gonna end up using a Cockeyed Optimist riff, but I'm gonna have to like condense it down to a minute long. Go with a pink cab. Haha. Funny, Terry. Funny. Real funny. So I'm gonna give it a shot, see what I can do, and hopefully come up with something that using my orange into the TAE or oh, I can't. I have to use the amp sim. But using that amp sim and one of the IRs, come up with something that I like. I've been trying the plugin out in and of itself, and it sounds really good. It's Ignite Amps Emissary by STL Tones. You can actually download it for free right now, so it's the full version, but you can basically only use it in your DAW because it's a VST, and I don't think that you can do standalones with VSTs. I honestly don't know. Because I use Pro Tools, everything's got to be so Pro Tooled out the butt that it gets, it gets kind of frustrating at times. But I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to try to do right by you guys and make sure that the tone that I'm able to get out of it is a good one. Other than that, some other things that we can talk about for the last little bit before we wrap things up. I did just list a whole bunch of pedals and will be listing a whole bunch of gear on the Reverb shop. The link for that is in the description below. So if you've seen any demos over the course of the last few years and been particularly excited about possibly seeing if I was going to sell it, it's up there right now. For you guys, I'm willing to make a deal. Just use the code Batcave. Send me an offer with the code Batcave, and I'll know it's one of you guys. But other than that, just trying to stay healthy, trying to stay sane. It gets a little harder and easier every day. I got my parents downstairs. They're visiting right now. My dad's still helping us out with our little plumbing project. We're getting pretty close to being like it never happened, which I cannot wait for. In the meantime, I just hope you guys are staying as healthy as you possibly can, staying safe. It's getting a little weird out there. For me, I feel it's getting a little weird. There's just been a lot of stuff going on here in California that just feels like it's getting to be a little too much, and we're starting to see a lot of that crop up right now. But I just want you guys to be smart, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, stay safe, stay healthy. Come back again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. This Saturday we will have a new episode of Stompbox Saturday, and hopefully by next week I'll also be uploading the acoustic guitar demo videos for Alhambra guitars. They are all done now. I'm just sending them off to the company to check out before I let you guys watch them. I'm personally really proud of them because you don't see a whole lot of acoustic guitar stuff on YouTube because acoustic guitar is challenging, for lack of a better term. And this one, I tried really hard to make sure that the acoustic guitar would not be so super compressed that you couldn't get a sense for how dynamic these things are. But I think you guys are really going to enjoy them, and I hope you do when they come out. Come back Saturday, and next week, same bat time, same bat channel, right here from the Bat Cave for more SPJ Live. And until then, my friends, from me and my house to yours, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all out there great tone, good health, and happy stomping. Cheers, friends. See you next time.